Australia to operate lobster flights to save $800 million of seafood. The Australian government is working with the local fishing industry to operate emergency flights to transport seafood. Normally these products are shipped on passenger aircraft, but with flights grounded, the fishing industry has no other options. These seafood cargo flights could also return to Australia full of medical supplies. Whilst we've had plenty of articles about rescue flights where nations hire aircraft to bring their citizens home, this is the first we've had about flights to rescue lobsters. In normal times, the Australian lobster industry is worth around 500 million Australian dollars or 306 million US dollars per year, with the bulk of the product going to China. However, when trade shut down with China in January, the industry had to focus its efforts towards other Asian countries such as Japan and Korea. But in an ironic twist of fate, by now 80% of Chinese vendors have reopened and the demand has come back in full force, only for Australia to close its own borders. Without the regular passenger aircraft flying between Australia and China, both Qantas and Virgin have effectively grounded their fleets, there's no way for the industry to deliver its product to the marketplace. The main fishing companies in Australia have been negotiating with several different airlines to deliver these food products. Initially, the industry was considering flying the products from Australia to Japan, then onwards to China to avoid flight bans. We've been scrambling to try and find a solution to keep all of our people in a job and keep our boats on the water, a representative of the fishing industry said to the ABC. Then we can keep all of the important export earnings coming into the country, as well as maintaining supply to our customers. Then the Australian government has stepped in to examine the possibility of filling up these returning empty aircraft with medical supplies. They've made a plan to hire 40 aircraft over the next few months to deliver these seafood products at a cost of 110 million Australian dollars or 67.4 million US dollars. We recognise the current COVID-19 crisis is placing immense pressure on Australian exporters, many of whom felt the earliest and deepest aspects of the economic downturn, said Trade Minister Simon Birmingham in the Sydney Morning Herald. Getting our export sector back on its feet is crucial to reduce job losses through the crisis and a critical part of the ultimate economic recovery. The plan will see planes from Melbourne, Sydney, Perth and Brisbane loaded with 800 million Australian dollars worth of lobsters and an additional 500 million Australian dollars of other products. The flights will return with medical supplies from China. Necessary public health restrictions are already placing massive pressure on business viability and job security, continued the Trade Minister. We can't afford our farmers, fishers and exporters to be under similar pressure just because they can't get their goods onto a plane. Originally, the fishing industries were discussing shipping its products with 5 different international airlines, but this investment from the Australian government likely comes with a caveat that they hire Australian airlines, Qantas or Virgin Australia. This is a smart move as some Australian airlines have asked for a bailout from the government, and this new business could be just what they need to survive. If you're in Australia, the next time you see a wide-body Qantas or Virgin Australia aircraft taking off and flying overhead, it might be up to something fishy. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the Simple Flying channel and be sure to click the notification bell.